If you're on the dating apps and you do get a lot of matches, it's a dopamine hit. You're excited. You're like, damn, there's things about me. There's things about what I wrote. There's things about the way that I look that are reciprocating well on the dating profiles because I'm getting matches, right? And then when you go on a cold streak and you don't get matches, you're like, damn, I might be ugly. Damn, I might need a cut. Damn, women must not like me. And once you start tying your identity to the feedback that you're getting on these apps, bro, that I think is a very dangerous road to go down.
Yeah, Rich, I would say at that time when first got to LA and I was trying to find a group of people to become friends with, it was less about women and it was more about just finding a flock that I could be around. I relate to where this young man is. They're taking a step in the right direction. They're working on their grooming, they're working on their fitness. They don't want to be lonely anymore. So they download this app that they think is a vessel to the other side that's going to give them that freedom and that happiness. And I can relate, but the problem is that there's no pill that you can take that's immediately going to make your life blissful and happy. And the dating app is definitely not that. It's just a tool. That's all it really is. And if you put all your faith in a tool, you are bound to be disappointed. And I know that feeling because when I was in LA on month 1, 2, and 3, I downloaded all the apps. I was trying to meet women offline. And I do have a quick story that led to easily one of the most, it put a hole in my pocket, first of all, which I was really upset about. But second of all, I was sitting at a Clippers game by myself with some really good tickets and I got ghosted. The girl didn't even show up to the game that I had paid for 2 tickets. Yeah, right before I sat down, I was outside. I was like, "Yo, let me know because haven't heard back from you." And her response was, "Oh, just go to the game. I'll meet you there. Just send me the ticket." The Clippers were losing by 40 by halftime. I was down by 100. I was just sitting there by myself. I've heard a phrase that I think is relatable here. The phrase was more dedicated to gamers. The way I heard it was playing a video game or any game online is a make pretend career. Why dedicate all this time and brain energy to a game that doesn't pay you in real life when you could be building a business or building yourself or building your career in real life and the badges that you get come in real life? I think that whoever said that is a smart man, and I would like to take that same ideology and move it into dating. Following beautiful women on OnlyFans that you can pay for access and conversation, and you get to see their nudes, and now and then they'll send you a little X-rated video. That is not a means to an end because you're paying to get the ultimate goal. Very much like a video game. There's still a challenge there, but the challenge is not reality. Stop going on porn sites 7 days a week because it's stopping you from getting what you really want. If you stop following beautiful women that you don't know, I mean, if you know women online that you do know, follow them. That's fine. Maybe you could DM them and hang out with them. But if you don't know this girl, but you follow her, and most of her followers are because of what she posts online to get male attention, but you could never meet her in real life, block her, unfollow her. OnlyFans, delete it. Obviously, porn, which is a huge problem for most men. If you indulge on something in the internet or on your phone or digitally, it makes you feel like you're satiated. It makes you feel like you're full when you're not. You're still starving. You just numbed it for the next 12 hours. You haven't solved your problem. And once you start taking away the things that are cheap dopamine that give you the rush of a simulation of something that's real, you start realizing what you don't have. And it's going to force you to go outside and try to solve your problem. So I say that with the utmost sincerity. A lot of these guys, the cheap dopamine out for a lot of things, but it's taboo to talk about it when it comes to women. And I think a lot of the issues with the video game that is OnlyFans, porn, and beautiful women on social media that you don't know is that you're masking this idea that you're actually talking to women who are interested in you. They're not. The reality is, and the reason why you demonize dating apps and you're mad at dating apps is because nothing hurts more than the truth. And the truth is, when you get on that app and you send out 50 fucking roses and 50 matches and you write up 50 really cool and clever messages and you don't get a response, that's the truth. The truth hurts. So it's easy to go back into the OnlyFans and it's easy to go back to Instagram and follow the beautiful girl that you don't know because you are living in a virtual facade, a virtual lie. So a video game is a fake reality as OnlyFans models are fake girlfriends. Get out of there. Get off of that. It's not going to help you solve your problem.
Yeah, I got one more too. And this is something that I was infamous for. And reflecting now, I feel like it was a big mistake. But for a while, I was a young father at 24 years old, right? And for a while, I felt that if I disclosed that information too early, that I was immediately going to be disqualified by the women who didn't want to be in that stepmom role. So I removed that information until they got to know me because I felt once she gets to know me and see who I am, maybe she would subscribe to the fact that okay, I could see myself as playing a stepmom role, or I see this guy's unfortunate circumstances and why he had a kid early, and like I'm subscribing to all of this. And what I found was I was removing that information gave me the matches and the dates quicker. But bro, I'm not gonna lie, by date 2 or date 3, once I hit them with that information, they were just like, it's probably something you should have led with. And I lost like 2 or 3, potential partners because I didn't disclose that information. So my actionable advice is lead with full transparency, bro. Wherever you're at today, share that. Like, don't sell this facade of like, this could be us. And you went on a yacht one time that you were invited to, but now you're presenting a photo saying to women that that's your yacht. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, the truth, nothing hurts more than the truth. And you might have tricked someone to hang out with you one night based on a lie or AI photo or one bullshit picture you took with a celebrity and you're using that as your lead photo. She knows women have keen senses for fuckboys and straight lanes and losers. Women are uniquely designed to vet out the winners and the losers. That's how you got here, my boy. Your mother weeded out the losers from the winners and had a kid with your dad who was a winner. This is procreation. This is just science at a high level. And if you're on some loser shit and you're trying to trick people to get with you, yeah, you might trick them to do some things. But how sustainable is that? It's the Bernie Madoff house of cards. It will come crashing down at some point. And I can't knock nobody's hustle. So do your thing. But if you want long-term happiness, you have to do long-term things. Part of a long-term play is to make sure that you're being honest and truthful up front. And I like what you said, Rich, because I'm sure when you adjusted it, you are happily in a relationship right now. I'm sure that came from divulging the information about your family early, only to be met with someone who also had a family. And you guys merged houses, right? But that was because you were being honest. If you would have lied about that, how difficult would that relationship have been?
Yeah, very difficult. And for full transparency, I met my girl in real life. So all those hundreds and thousands of dollars that I spent on dating apps and subscriptions and digital roses and all that bullshit meant nothing
You could have put it
because
into Bitcoin. Fuck. Fuck.
yeah, we could have been rich.
You are rich. You're the best rich I know. Listen,
Hey,
one other thing I wanted to mention before we go, and I think is one of the most important things to me. Again, these are things that are important to me because I was just here a few years ago. I was single in a new city, didn't know anyone, was trying to get my social life going. Fuck the girl. I was just trying to get friends in LA. I was trying to figure out people to hang out with. When I learned this one thing, it changed everything. Don't make everything about the girl. Build a world that you're having fun in, that you personally enjoy, that you get to be your truest and most honest self, and you could be the man in that little world. I don't give a fuck what it is. You could be trading Pokemon cards. As long as you're the man in that little sub world, women will find you because they're gonna meet you being the top dog, being the guy that's the master of his domain. Now, when you go play a sport that you've never played before because women are there, you're gonna look like a fucking idiot because you're gonna be the worst person at that sport, and you're not going to look like a guy that's graceful, elegant, has command of the room, can lead people. These are very soft skills that women pay attention to. So if you make your entire life about women, you tend to create a world that brings in that type of woman. I'll go deeper. If it's only about the car, if it's only about how much money you make, if it's only about the biggest and the best restaurants you take her to, but you have no social skills, you have no real friends. You have no real motion, no real energy, no real charisma. That girl is dating the Porsche logo and not you. At some point, you have to maintain that standard. And if that's not you, the house of cards will fall. So my best advice, long-term strategy for a young man that feels like he's down on his luck and fucking hates dating apps, it's a necessary evil. It's bro, just give it time, focus on yourself, Build a world that you want to live in. Surround yourself with friends that also have girlfriends. Don't just hang out with guys that only hang out with guys. That you're never going to get to your end goal that way. And you'll find that a year, 2 years, you'll meet people. You might fuck around and even meet a girl that you didn't think was very attractive the first time you met her, but you might have seen her in 3 or 4 outfits. She's come to the events that you've been at, and now you're getting to know her, and she's growing on you, and she looks way more beautiful than she did the first time. This is something that apps can do. They allow room for context and nuance and the ability for you to show yourself in 3 dimensions. You don't have to delete the apps, but create a world where you're not living only on the apps. And if you're gonna create a world, make sure it's a world that you're happy in, that you are the boss of. Ain't no worse feeling than waiting for a phone number. You get out of your room, get into the city, you touch grass, and you come home, and the girl hasn't texted you back. That's fucked up. It's happened to me before. You were sitting at home for 24 hours waiting for that text message back, and you got nothing. You might as well live your life while you're waiting for a girl to hit you back. That's the best advice I could give a young guy so he could keep himself mentally stable and get out of that funk of depression and feeling insignificant.
Bro, that is such good advice because when you make it all about the woman, what tends to happen is when you do get the match and you are talking to her, then it's all about her. Then you know what happens, bro? You're so excited because you match with someone and you're talking to a woman that you end up smothering her. You spend all your time to her, and women detect that immediately, and they're just like, "Damn, doesn't this guy have a fucking life of his own?" Like, I text him and he immediately texts me right back, and it's so smothering. And that's what happens. You've made your life to be about the woman, and it's for most women that is off-putting. Now, if you take a little bit of time to respond, she's like, "Oh, maybe he's busy." Keep her curious. That will reel her in faster than making her all about the woman.